So the question that I'm going to answer now is about how do I reduce my child support? What can I do to pay less in child support? That's a question that we get asked quite frequently. And the answer to that is that there's probably not a whole lot that can be done if you have recently had an accurate assessment of what your child support should be. Now, whether or not you've had an accurate assessment recently of what your child support really should be is a different story. Child support in Florida is based on a formula, and that formula takes into consideration both parties' incomes, both parties' health insurance cost, the child's health insurance cost, child care cost for the child, and the number of court-ordered overnights that each parent has with the child. So we can talk about what those factors are that go into the formula. And if any of those are off, then your child support number may not be accurate and may need to be adjusted and therefore may come down. But if all of those numbers were calculated correctly, then there's not a whole lot that anyone can do to help reduce your child support. So the question really is one of what is your income, what are the health insurance and child care costs, what is the other party's income, and what are your overnights. Now, income can become a little bit tricky in certain circumstances, particularly when people own their own business or have multiple jobs. But if you are a person who has regular W-2 employment, then it's not very complicated to figure out exactly how much one person is earning or another person is earning. Once we have the state formula based calculation that comes out, the standard child support number, we're allowed to deviate from that 5% in either direction for special circumstances. But with the exception of that, child support is not something that people can contract out of. So what does that mean? It means that even if you and the other parent agree that you do not want to pay child support or should not owe child support for certain reasons, you are not allowed to contract out of child support. You're not allowed to agree not to pay it or agree to pay a reduced rate. You owe the money to the child. The person who owes the money to the child, not to the other parent. And so as a result of that, you cannot contract out of paying it. Now, what you can contract for is to pay more in child support than you have to pay under state guidelines. And making that decision and putting it into a written agreement can really come back to bite you later. So that's something you for sure want to talk to an attorney about. I always recommend that you should get an attorney involved from the very beginning in child support proceedings, because once you get a wrong number, it can be really difficult to get out of that number if it was calculated incorrectly. So contact our office for a free consultation if you need one. Make sure you talk to a family law attorney and know that child support is something that you really do need to work with an attorney on getting a good number for.